Hi, thank you so much for signing up, and I'm so happy to be able to share with you my top 10 tips for spiritual businesses. And this can apply to any business. So these are the things I have found so useful after 11 years in business, this year. So let's get started. The first one, these are not in any particular order, and of course some of these are they're mindset focused as well as practical steps. So the first one, healthy, beautiful boundaries. And this can be, you might not necessarily know what a good boundary is for you until you have someone cross that boundary, right? And then that's where you can usually find the line. So how you deal with customers and clients, how you deal with vendors, how you deal with people on your team or that work for you, employees, people that, contractors of any kind, your financial team, what is expected of you and what you expect of them, and communication along those lines. If you're someone that deals with like services, and you have contracts, making sure that all the expectations are put in those contracts and it's something that is comfortable for you, as well as what your clients and customers can expect of you. It's clearly listed. And of course, this is something that as you start or as you move through your business, you can take and add as needed. Again, like when you might not necessarily know what a boundary is until someone crosses it. So make sure you add it in as, and put it as clearly, make it as clear as possible in your contracts, in all your documents, or like your terms of service, making sure that is as clear as possible for people to know what to expect to work with you. Are you available 24/7 or are you not? So make sure that's in there. Yes, and then another important thing is do not hesitate to start looking for a bookkeeper, unless that's your job already, if you're in bookkeeping. But do not hesitate to find a really good tax CPA and a bookkeeper. Those two go hand in hand. This is for your sanity during tax season, to make everything go much more smoothly, to know where you are with your financials on a month-to-month basis. I'm assuming, like, especially if you're running a business that's busy, there's a lot to do, much less add on top of it to me it always felt like bookkeeping could be a whole second job or a part-time job within your business. So making sure you have someone who is really awesome at organizing all that for you, that you can trust. And sometimes that process can take a while. It took me about 6 months of like reaching out to people and like talking to other bookkeepers to finally settle on somebody that I love, that is, I feel like, is on my side. She's organized. I don't feel like I have to keep track of her or ask for things. Like, she knows what to do, when to do it, and is helping me. She's not causing extra stress. She's relieving stress, and tax season can go much more smoothly. And to also know like where you stand with your business on financials month to month, and not just having it out there and not really sure what it is, like how you're doing financially. You know how it is because everything's accounted for with your bookkeeper. But with that said, that flows into what is definitely needs to be your responsibility, and this goes with business and personal, is money tracking. This is tracking all of your income, every single penny of your income. And I'll share personally, it took me about 3 months to do this, like to really have this into my daily routine. I would always start like the first of the month, and then I kind of it would go by the wayside. And it took me 3 months to finally commit to it. But that's tracking all income. That's through cash, checks, PayPal, whatever other form of money that you're receiving, through credit cards, or however, any way you receive money, you track it. There's all kinds of apps for it. I have an iPhone, so I use it's called Income OK, where I can track my income and all the sources. I can immediately track it. And this is not necessarily for a bookkeeper to do. This is not for use for someone else. This is just purely for you to be aware of on a daily basis. What is your income for the month or day, week, and then what are your expenses, and then categorizing, so you know where all of it, like, so if you make X amount of money in a month, you can see, like with that app I use, Income OK, I can see where all the different sources of income have come from and where all the different my expenses have gone out of. So I can see on a pie chart what's taking up the most amount of space. Am I spending too much money on coffee? Or am I spending too much money here, or not enough money in in a certain area, so you can track it. And this is not to make, do not feel guilty about how much money you spend or how little money you make, or vice versa. Do not feel, this is not a source to feel guilty from. This is how they say, like, you need the data in order to make any changes. You can't make changes from within your own head. Like, no, there's no theorizing what you should do or shouldn't do. You need to have the data. So, like, take that first month of data, just spend how you normally spend, track the income as it normally comes in, and then you can make adjustments or see where adjustments need to be made. But money tracking, getting on board with the money tracking as soon as possible. I just got back last week from an awesome full day event with other women entrepreneurs. These are all kinds of women in business. The number one thing we talked about was money tracking. That was like, money tracking was huge. Everyone can agree that agreed in that room how important the value of money tracking is. And again, not a source of guilt. This is not supposed to make you feel bad about where you're at, okay? So don't look at it like that. Just look at it as like, you know exactly where you stand, so you're in control and you're aware. More importantly, you are aware. So there's that. The next thing, and this is another practical thing, you notice behind me, this room is clean. This is not me that did this. This is my housekeeper. I have an amazing OCD housekeeper, and I highly recommend you get one too. I know sometimes, like, I've had bad experiences with people in the past, and I totally understand. So if you have a bad experience or you're not comfortable, if there is any way, if you can work around that and like move past it, forgiveness, or something along those lines, I highly recommend having someone help you clean so you can do your work and not feel like you have to do it all. Like, working, especially if you're working from home, having a clean space behind you, having a clean home is a beautiful act of self-love, I think, and self-care. So, highly recommend that. I have, if necessarily a housekeeper is not your thing, I've heard of someone who says they actually enjoy cleaning their own home, and they take that time to listen to a podcast or do some personal development work with their headphones. And then their big thing was getting a gardener. So that might, something along the lines of have someone helping you around your house in some capacity. At least look into it. It might not be as expensive as you think, and also even just like once a month can be a huge weight off your shoulders. So highly recommend. Another thing is in regards to your business, if you can find a way to do a VIP offer. This doesn't even have to be something that anyone actually buys, but you are just throwing out a VIP offer to work with you, or some sort of package to work with you that is leveraging your expertise, your time, and to maximize your income. However that looks for you. Almost any industry can offer some sort of VIP. With my logistics company, I had a very specialized services I could offer to certain clients that needed it, and that did not hesitate to pay premium dollar for those things. So highly recommend find a way to offer a VIP package, offer of some sort, product or service in your business, just to help you leverage some extra income. So just make that offer. Not everybody necessarily wants the cheapest thing. Even like in my first business, the people I worked with, they did not want the cheapest thing. They wanted the best. So make sure you have some options there for those people as well. Another important thing is a savings account for both business and personal. And not just a savings account, automated savings account. Start small. Literally start with $5 like I did, $5 a week. I use Capital One, where it's super easy. There's no fees, and it's super easy to open up multiple accounts. And then I have them all named for different things, like for my taxes, for guilt-free spending, for a future vacation, a new car, down payment on a home. And you can just start small and then just start getting comfortable with the savings, and you can increase as you feel comfortable. So the how I found it to be is just start create the automation, create that funnel, and then you can grow it you can increase the channel as necessary. But you need to just go ahead and lay the groundwork. So already have like $5 going into an account, at least one account, and get comfortable with the act of saving and not worrying about it. Like I create a savings account, but then I'd always hesitate on actually manually putting money into it out of fear. Knock all that out of the way. Automate it. Start small, where it's not going to trigger you, and go from there. It's huge though. It's huge for your sense of security. And then another thing is self-care. Huge, huge, huge. I don't care how this can show up for you. There's a million ways to do it. I'll throw out some of my examples. This could be getting a massage, kinesiology, getting your hair done, getting a blowout with your hair if you don't want to do your own hair one day, especially if you're making videos, and that's going to be my last one, is getting visible. Kinesiology, energy healing, going to a traditional therapist, getting, making sure you get your teeth cleaned, every 6 months. That's a huge, sometimes like those self-care things will just go by the wayside if you're busy in your business and you might feel guilty or you don't want to take care of it. Take care of yourself. You need to stay as high vibe as possible, and that includes like eating good food when able to. Just allowing yourself to be spoiled in those little ways. That, it's just bringing it back to you so you stay uplifted, you stay energized, you stay strong and healthy for you so you can be out there doing your business. Making sure you make time for all of that. So mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, self-love, and self-care. However that shows up for you, like acupuncture, essential oils. Just do what you need to do to take care of yourself, on a more emotional, non-businessy way. But you're important. Make sure you stay high vibe. And then the last thing is being visible. So being visible, not afraid to put yourself out there. Don't allow yourself to retract and be fearful of just throwing yourself out there, getting yourself into the conversation, putting yourself in the mix. Don't compare yourself to like, well, there's no reason for me to be out there. There's 50 other people that do what I do. Don't do that. Don't shut yourself down before you even give yourself a chance. Allow yourself to make videos if you're comfortable doing that or ramping up to that. And this goes hand in hand, making offers, sharing testimonials and feedback that you have from your current customers and clients. Just allowing people to see you shine and not apologizing for it is not arrogance. It's not being arrogant. People need to know. There's no way, they cannot read, your clients and customers are looking for you. They cannot read your mind. You need to share, be out there, be visible, be helpful. Just allow yourself to have those people find you and make the offers. People not necessarily be like, hey, I want to work with you. Like, how do I work with you? Go ahead and make those offers. Give them a clear path to work with you in whatever way that is. So I hope those are helpful. It's a great start. If you can master any of those, it will be a huge help for your business. But that's 10 top business tips for spiritual business owners. So thank you so much and good luck.